All right, hello, writers. It's Mrs. Haywood. So today we are going to compare 2 points of view while we are writing. We are going to choose a event, and this will just be kind of a snapshot in time. And we are going to go ahead and plan that snapshot in time or that event with both perspectives of your characters going at the same time. So to plan that out, I chose to do a parallel story. So this is essentially a double plot mountain. Okay, so I've already wrote long about my topic. You guys should have already wrote long about your topic with 2 different perspectives and that event as it unfolds. Okay, so now I'm ready to kind of list those and make sure my plot is good to go, and I am going to kind of compare what the inner thinking is or the actions are of both of my main characters as they happen simultaneously, so at the same time. All right, so my event is a parent is taking her child to a theme park. And this is the first time, this is kind of a small child. This child, it's the first time that he is riding on any big rides, and he's really wanting to ride some roller coasters, and mom is kind of having some anxiety about that. So I'm going to compare their inner thinking and their actions and maybe even some dialogue as we move through that event. So this is just kind of my first attempt at that. So our learning target today is I can organize an event sequence that unfolds naturally and logically within my story. Okay, so I'm going to start with the child. So remember, in our plot, we start with that. Flip back to our plot mountain here from a long time ago. Exposition. So that exposition in our plot is where we're really just beginning our story. We're getting the setting, we're getting characters, everything's being set up for us. Then we have that rising action, the climax, falling action, and resolution. Okay, so I'm going to come back to my plot mountain. So with that in mind, I already have established it's a child and a parent, so I'm going to go ahead and set up the scene for them arriving at that theme park and kind of what takes place. So for my child, he is going to be super excited. Okay, I'm going to set the tone of excitement for this child. So excited to be at the theme park and to ride all the rides, especially the coasters. First time on the coasters. Okay, so now I'm going to move to the parent. The parent is nervous. She is a nervous wreck. Nervous about the safety of the rides at the park. Okay. So these events are happening at the exact same time. Okay, so these are both kind of connected. Same point in time. I'm just kind of drawing myself some little dots. That's our connection right there, happening at the same time. All right, I'm going to go back to my child. Rising action. Things are starting to gear up here. Action is starting to take place. So this child has been riding several rides. So riding, getting on. See, this child's been riding a lot of rides, and now we are ready for riding the coaster. This is the big one. In this particular part of the rising action, we're not quite to the coaster ride yet. We are getting in the seat. So for the first time ever, getting in this seat of a coaster. putting on seatbelt. You know how they come around and check your seatbelts? We're at that point. Meanwhile, my parent is just absolutely panicking. She is going to be sitting down with her child. She is nervously double checking her child's seatbelt. Okay, so she's checking, double checking. She is just absolutely nervous. All right, so these two events happening at the same point in time. All right, next. Now we're ready for our climax. So, what do you think the climax is going to be? Oh, am I frozen here, guys? Sorry. Gotta love technology. Thanks for sticking with me. Hope you guys are hearing that. All right, climax. So for the climax, the child, this is like as soon as the coaster takes off down that first hill. So coaster takes off on first hill. What do you think the child's doing? He's got his hands up in the air. He's screaming, smiling, having a good time. Hands in air, having a blast. Okay, should have wrote this like going the other way because I'm running out of space here. All right, this is actually in the climax. I'm just kind of out of room. Parent has her arm around him. Her arm around child. Eyes are glued on him, making sure he's safe. Not having a blast. Just worried about him, okay? I'd write a little bit more about that if I had the space here. I'm just writing too big today. All right, falling action. So for our falling action, ride is over. Ride comes to a stop. Child is clapping, laughing, having a blast. Loved it. Okay. Parent, she's just thankful it's over and they're safe. Yay, we're safe. We made it. Okay. He's like, oh my gosh, that was awesome. She's like, oh my gosh, thank goodness it's over. Resolution, he wants to go again. Okay. And mom says, nah, no, that's okay. How about we just commemorate here and how about we just buy a picture? She buys the picture. No, thank you. We're done. That was enough excitement. Let's just buy a picture, get out of here. Okay, so those are happening at the exact same time. There's my connection. Okay, so what I want you to do when you're writing today is think about your topic. Think about your main two perspectives. Okay, so your two characters in your story. Think about their perspective at each point in the story. I chose to do a double plot mountain. This is a parallel story, paralleling from the child to the parent. You do not have to do this. You might make a 2-column chart today, or maybe you make a timeline instead. So just make a simple, timeline. I could have done child, I could have done parent, and done, beginning, middle, end type thing, and compared what their thoughts and dialogue. I didn't really necessarily include dialogue today, but you could do that. Just give us some description. What are their actions? So you could kind of compare that way if you want, or you could go ahead and do that 2-column chart. Here's my parent, here's my child. What are they doing? So there's a number of different ways you guys can organize your thoughts with your two perspectives. So think about what way works best for you and what works best for your story. and try that out in your writing today. Okay, so I can organize an event sequence that unfolds naturally and logically. Choose a way to organize your events in the order that they would naturally occur in. Okay, so I didn't start, I didn't have the end of the ride over here. I went through one roller coaster ride. Ironically, that's kind of like what my plot mountain looks like here, doesn't it? So try that out in your writing today, and we will check back in with you next time and see how that went. Have a good day, everyone.